Greetings and a warm welcome to everyone. I'm Ruth Nelson, founder of GoKids Youth Sports ChatBOX, and I'm thrilled to be your host for our monthly In the Know series. David Delosier, head coach at Fort Dale Academy, a private school outside Montgomery, Alabama, is joining me as guest co-host. David is one of our first certified GoKids Youth Sports skills trainers, and we're excited to have him on board for this special episode. Tonight, we spotlight another outstanding coach among the 20 who earned their GoKids Youth Sports certification in Kearney, Nebraska earlier this year. He's a dedicated 14U and a 16U junior club coach with Capital City Volleyball Club in Helena, Montana. With not only a strong background in soccer, but a deep passion for developing young athletes, he brings a well-rounded approach to coaching. His focus on building confidence, refining skills, and fostering a love for the sport has made a lasting impact, both on and off the court. As a newly certified GoKids Youth Sports skills trainer, he'll share insights from the 2025 certification course, the benefits of online learning through 24/7 RNN Sports Gym, and how he's applying what he's learned to support young athletes in meaningful and engaging ways. Please join us in welcoming Coach Brandon.
Hi, nice to meet you, Ruth. Or good to see you again, Ruth.
Yep. And we're excited, and David's excited. But before we get going, we want to do a special sigil highlighting some of Brandon's journey. So I don't know if you've seen this yet, Brandon, but we put together a few short video with all kinds of, this is you coaching with Capital City. And of course, we're at the certification course. And I got some great action shots of you. I think you were getting ready to take a timeout.
Oh.
Here's a picture of everybody in action. Okay, look at you. Oh, then we get
yes.
Yeah. And then we're practicing actually getting some hitting done. And I'm sure you love the jump roping for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then you had your school. You felt like you're on school again, having to write on the wall. And then some fun shots with all the coaches, and you getting to do a little jump in there for approaching. And you guys were thinking about what you're going to present, and there's some action. All right. That's fantastic. Okay, David, let's get going with your first questions for Brandon.
All right. Well, Brandon, it's great to have you on the show. What first inspired you to get involved in coaching, and how has that evolved over the years?
Oh, that's actually a long story, but in a nutshell, I've always loved sports, soccer, started off soccer, played it for 25 years before I actually had a coworker say she had a daughter playing soccer, and I told her I played soccer for 30 years or whatnot. And when I was working with her, and she says, "Hey, you should come coach my 5-year-old daughter team." I said, well, after a little bit of hesitation, I was like, yeah, okay. She talked me into it. So it was a little bit of, wanting to do it, but not thinking at the time that I was good enough, and then having a little peer pressure to say, hey, no, you should come do this, because they had a high schooler do it who wasn't really into it. So kind of started with there, and I just loved it ever since. And then it moved on up. And same thing with like volleyball. I met a friend who's coaching volleyball and had already been coaching soccer for about 7 years. And she said, hey,
Wow.
come coach volleyball with me. So, and that's the rest is history. I started coaching
Wow.
with her in volleyball.
That's
Very cool. What motivated you to pursue the GoKids Youth Sports Skills Trainer certification, and how has it impacted your coaching approach?
I'm one of those coaches, that has always thought that you can always get better. I'm not stuck in my ways of saying this is how I do it. My way is the correct way, which is a terrible word. I learned from Ruth. But I'm not one of those coaches that this is my way, this is the correct way. I'm one of those coaches that says I'm more than happy to learn from other coaches, whether it's my sport, whether it's volleyball, whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer. I honestly believe that you learn from the best, you can always be better. And so I looked into that, and I was told that Ruth was putting on, and Ruth was one of the best. So I'm like, hey, great opportunity to learn from one of the best in volleyball, and I wanted to get better at volleyball. And it's just impacted my coaching approach. Like I said, instead of looking at things of being correct or doing the correct way, which was my mindset saying, all right, how do I do this the correct way? How do I coach the correct way? After that, it's more of, there's a better way of looking at it. How do I do it more efficiently? After taking those classes, how do I do this more efficiently? It doesn't have to be correct because that's
Yeah.
not the word I'm looking for. We want it to be more efficient is a better word, what I learned. So that
Yeah.
I applied that more into my coaching.
That's excellent. Okay. So, but how did you actually, I want to spin off on that. How did you actually get invited to be part of the event?
Um, I was coaching with Capital City,
Uh-huh.
and I talked to Joni, and then Joni had me. We were I was part of YMCA here in
Uh-huh.
Helena. She
Yeah.
wanted to help. She wanted me. She thought it'd be a good idea for me to help get this program going in Montana.
Hmm.
She asked me to see if I would be interested in helping her get volleyball program going into it, and she told me all about it. I loved every bit of what she said about it. So I'm like, yeah, I would definitely love getting the jump started in Montana. It
Yeah.
sounds like a great program, and let's do it.
Yeah. Well, that was good. Great that Joni has the vision to want to include not only Montana and Nebraska in all that she does. Could you share your experiences from the 2025 certification course and like what stood out most and what surprised you?
Um, what the experience I had was fun. It was a little more physical than I thought it was going to
Oh,
be, honestly.
Yeah.
Definitely more physical. Like I said, but I think that was good. It's good that way. Because as I realized from coaching, and I'm one of those people that's I can take in so much auto
yeah.
by hearing it,
Uh-huh.
but and then by seeing it, but it also helps by doing it too. So I really appreciated that you explained it to us. You told us how to do it, and we walked through it, and we showed us how to do it, and we walked through it. That was a huge impact. Um, what was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
And no, it was that the first time you've had an online course, I mean, a course, in-person course that you actually got to participate so much?
Yeah, actually, that was the most participation that I've ever
Oh,
done.
the
I did
most.
one with soccer. I did one with soccer, but it was mostly um, somebody showing us how to do it, and then bringing kids in and showing us how to do it, and then at the end we did like maybe um one drill with them, as opposed to doing every single drill with them like we did with
Yeah.
your program. Great. I would prefer to do every single drill and walk through it all by ourselves without
Uh-huh.
the kids there, than do it the way I did it with soccer. So that was
So
great.
was there something that surprised you besides the physical side of it?
Um, the verbiage was a little surprising. I never heard a lot of the verbiage you use, like the
Uh-huh.
puppet, the one,
Uh-huh.
two, three, the count through it. But
Uh-huh.
that was also very helpful and something else I use in my coaching.
Okay.
Um, just learn this. It just shocked me just all the stuff I don't know about volleyball. I've only been doing this for 3 years coaching volleyball, but I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I think I'm picking up on everything. And then took your course and was like, oh, there's still so much I don't know about
Yeah.
volleyball, even after 3 years.
But you know what, Brandon, if you think about it, the people that make probably the most effective and efficient coaches are the ones that really haven't had very much experience because they're so willing to try it and see how it works. And it's much easier to train other people when you're not thinking of doing a million things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, how has the access to the 24/7 RNN Sports Gym supported your learning and your ongoing development as a youth coach?
That I've looked at that, and it's a nice reminder because I am a bit older, so the videos you have up there just a kind of nice reminder of, oh, this is how we did it with the certain drills, and like because I couldn't quite remember someone like, ooh, how did we do this? It didn't seem right. So then there were some ones where you're demonstrating
Yeah.
some of the drills. Oh, there it is, and it would just click, just being able to see the videos that you have on there. The
Uh-huh.
other thing is I did what helped me the most is probably again the library, the terms and
Oh, yeah.
definitions. So that way, it's a lot easier for me too, because I'm a firm believer in starting kids in sports young. But if
Uh-huh.
they don't have the right verbiage, like you were telling us in the course, if they don't have the right verbiage, or if they have different verbiage throughout the years, it's a lot
Uh-huh.
harder on them to develop as players. So that's just a reminder that okay, attack line, serving, uh, quarter turn, and all that stuff, just so
Uh-huh.
I can start using that with my players too, so that when they get higher up and other coaches use those terms, they know what they're talking about.
Okay, so before David asks the next question, I want to relate something to soccer.
Okay.
Because the tendency now is people are saying you don't need to have 5 and 6 year olds run around cones. You need to get them out and let them play. Tell me, how does a 5 and 6 year old who's never played soccer know how to do things just by playing?
Oh, that's a good question. Um,
That's, I'm curious because this is what people are saying about soccer now, and now they're trying to say it about volleyball. But you've now worked with 5 year olds in soccer, and let's just say you did 4 or 5, 4 aside, 5 aside, 8 aside, 6 aside. But in many cases, how do you teach them to move and do that stuff?
Oh, that's a good question. And I actually talked to a coach, another coach. This is one of those things that talking to other coaches that are more experienced than me, I pick up from them. I remember this. He says one of the best things to do, and you wouldn't think about it, is when he has kids 5 and 6 in soccer, he has them play tag. Just that whole moving away from each other
Yeah.
and running into space. He said
Uh-huh.
they do that on natural instinct. They don't have to be taught that. It's just, oh, we're playing tag. I got to run away. I got to run into space.
Uh-huh.
If I'm in a big clump with people, then I'm gonna get tagged easily. And that's what we want in soccer, is to teach them how to spread out, use the space, run away from the ball, run away and run into space and not get clumped up. So it's just like something just like that. That's simple that I would never have thought of. It's like, oh yeah, tag. You do, they can think of games they do naturally as kids, like tag,
Mhm.
tag or whatnot, and bring it in to say, okay, let's play this. Now see what you did, and then kind of relate it back to the sport, for them, and it's a little
But
easier for
give
them.
me an example of how that would work with a 5 year old in volleyball, where they have to pass a ball.
Oh man,
Do you
that
think it's tough?
that's tougher because like I've told a lot of people, I love coaching soccer and I love coaching volleyball. There's a
Uh-huh.
huge difference between coaching volleyball and soccer. Volleyball is so much more technical than,
Okay.
than soccer. So that would be, I mean, you'd have to think of something like what I did with the YMCA is we just played with the kids when we did it five, when we just took a big beach volleyball.
Yeah.
So we took a size beach volleyball and told them to hit it. And then they naturally put their arms together because it's bigger than they are. So they're going to use both hands because of their small size. And I mean, it may not be perfectly put together as the actual technique, but they're going
Yeah.
to see the big ball and they're going to put their hands together and try to do it with two hands as opposed to the one because it's a lot easier to do that.
But now you got a
So
soft light volleyball and you don't need to use a beach volleyball. Okay, David, you
yeah,
better go with your question.
All right. Brandon, what's one concept or tool from the Go Kids Youth Sports curriculum that you've already implemented in your training sessions?
um, the puffer balls.
Ah,
I'm a big fan of the puffer balls. We've used them not only for our hitting and hitting and serving, but we've also used them for our passing.
yeah.
Um, we've had it where our girls don't get down low to pass the ball, so we've actually put the puffer on the ground for them to have to get bend down, or stay low, pick it up, and then hold it in both hands because they have a
Ah,
tendency to lose with one. So they pick it up with both hands. Like that puffer needs to stay in both hands. You can't have the puffer in one hand and reach and still the puffer doesn't count. It has to be in both hands. That way, go after the ball with the puffer. Um, and I've also done, which I enjoyed a lot, was the two volleyball drill
yeah.
where you have across from each other, and then you have one person rolling it on the ground, and the other one go high, the other one go low.
Yeah.
Um, that was a good one, especially for my 12 to 14 year olds to do that
Ah,
one. So we did that
Okay.
one with
And,
them.
and implementing those tools, how'd it go?
The puffer one went fine. They understood that said, hey, I can't reach for two hand or I can't reach for one hand. It was a little, get a little stickier, get low, because a lot of them would stand up, do the drill, and then bend down to pick up the puffer. I'm like, if you stay low, you don't have to bend down and pick up the puffer. You're already down low. Just grab it real quick and go. The volleyball, the two volleyball person one, where you rolled one on the ground, the other one was passed up high. That was a little tougher for them to get. That was a little tougher. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
It took a little longer, but I think it went well. It went well for them. They understood the importance of it and the coordination and just the staying and then the same thing, staying low, proper form, and just being ready. So yeah, I think it went well. The puffer one went well. The serving ones and the hitting ones with the puffers went a lot. But they
oh,
understood
yeah.
them a lot better than the two-person one.
well, very cool. That's awesome. So I heard that you recently assisted Ruth during the Montana clinics with Capital City Volleyball Club. What was that experience like? And what did you take away from working directly with young athletes and their families?
Oh, anytime I got to work with Ruth is amazing. It's anytime where I get to work with her and I can just observe and take it in. It's amazing. It's Ruth is one of the most efficient probably trainers, coaches in volleyball I've ever seen. Have the pleasure of working with. So just the efficiency and just the hey, I got a lot of things to get through because that's one of my problems. Is I got a lot of things to get through. I want to get through in an hour and a half. Let's go. Let's do it,
Yeah.
but let's do it efficiently. So as soon as everybody gets it, we're moving on to the next one as opposed to waiting around. That's what I loved watching about it when she was here um, in Montana doing it because we had what 2 or 3 groups, Ruth, and
Yeah.
an hour and a half each one, and I mean, you got through so much more than I would have been able to get to with those groups. It was just amazing. Just
Yeah, but you know how I got through it? Because I had you and Kat helping me.
and it was fun. Like I said,
Yeah.
um, and then it was just it was efficient. It was not only did we get through a lot, I said, but not only did we get through a lot, but it was efficient in my view, and it was nice to see that it can be done. Coaching and training a sport like volleyball can be done quickly, efficiently, to the point, with kids at that age, between the ages of what did we do, like between 12 and 16,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just have them.
And have fun.
Yes, and they had fun and with just the jump ropes and the jumping and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it. I mean, I probably
Well,
got
one of the things, though, you should have also seen is the kids that came back the second night, like
oh,
Friday. They had had that experience, which really allowed us to move through things even a little more advanced.
right.
Had you not had those people that had been through, it would have been a similar for Thursday and Friday night. And they came back eager to learn, which was
And,
probably the most important thing.
and just to do it all over again. I mean, it's one thing to have them learn, kids love to learn and do it, but to have them do the same thing, which
Yeah.
most kids don't want to do the same thing over and over again. They're like, "Oh, I did that drill. I don't need to do it again." It's like, no, that's what you need in volleyball. It's that consistency and the reps.
Yeah.
So the fact that they came back to do the same course is amazing.
Okay, so how do you balance fun and fundamentals when working with kids 10 and under? And what's your philosophy when introducing them to the sport?
Start with the philosophy first. With me, it's easy because I'm a giant kid I'm a kid at heart. So
Okay.
with kids 10 and under, the mindset's got to be it's a game. It's a
Okay.
game. They most of the time they're never played before. It's got to be fun. Most time kids under 10, their parents are having them do 6 different sports. So they're not. It's not like they're like, oh, like we're here at volleyball, we're picking volleyball. It's like no, it's just testing it out for most cases. So you got to remember as a coach, it's fun. And it's to some degree you got to be expecting you're going to be hurting cats, as the saying goes. You got to go into knowing that you're going to be hurting cats with 10 and under kids. You can't go in the mindset with, oh, they're 10 and under. I can control them. They're going to do exactly what I said. No, you can't do that. That's my philosophy. Um, the the way I balance fun and fundamentals is with 10 and under. A lot of games. I Google games for like volleyball,
Uh-huh.
um, and then give them cute names. I've learned that kids 10 and under learn best by doing.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm coaching them to keep the fundamentals again efficiently, efficiently explain the fundamentals to 10-year-old without much word. That's why I say when you tell them the quick,
Uh-huh.
puppet instead of going through all the arm positions to say
Uh-huh.
puppet. This is what puppet looks like. Okay, and they understand that, and just showing them on and being able to
Right.
quickly move to the games and move on to them with short explanations and um, let them learn by doing. Um, the other thing I do is with mindset is as a coach for a 10 and under group, you have to have high energy. You have to have
Yeah.
high energy with 10-year-olds, and you got to have fun doing it yourself because they pick up on that. If you're not having fun coaching them, they're not going to pay attention. In my
Oh,
in my opinion,
no,
if you're not having fun with
no,
them, they're not paying.
that's true. I mean, there's no doubt in that. I think the other thing too is that what you've mentioned is the energy, the knowledge, and the short keywords, because you can use keywords without stopping and trying to explain it. if you've done the keywords in the beginning, because as you progress the kids through the skill level, as they get better, you can still relate to wrist, thumbs, hands. And you don't have to stop and explain that because you've already done it. However, what happens is many coaches end up trying to introduce those first things in the middle of the season or the middle of 4 weeks of an 8-week program. And you can't do that. You've got to start at the beginning. You've got to continue to do it. You don't have to do it as often, but they know right away when you say puppet, all right, everybody puppet. We got to come out of 1, 2, 3, 4 fast. And then everybody, and even if you're doing it as a player, it reminds them, I need to get that done. All right, David, you've got a couple more questions here.
All right. Looking ahead, how do you see yourself growing within the GoKids Youth Sports Program? And what goals do you have as a skills trainer?
I see us. Working with Joni, she's got a very nice idea here in Montana what she wants to program and how she's going to put the program together. And I looked at her and said, I told her whatever she needs me for, I'm here. If she wants to, throw the program in, and then she needs me there, I will be there wherever she needs me. She's very driven to get it both programs here, get both programs going here in Montana as soon as possible. And I'm right there with her saying, hey, let's get this. Let's teach these kids early how to start playing volleyball. Let's do it more efficiently. And just it's like I said, great programs. Want them here. I'm a little disappointed that we haven't had them here sooner. But that's not anybody's fault. But I'm just glad that Joni's here and she got a hold of Ruth and is bringing this program here to Montana.
Well, in September, you're going to do train, play, and compete. So you're getting
nice.
that started. So because they just started the pilot program in Kearney, and they're in their third. This is their third session they had last night. So they've moving one step at a time. All right, David.
And how has becoming part of the GoKids Youth Sports community influenced your connection with other coaches and trainers nationwide?
It hasn't unfortunately gone nationwide yet, other than when we did the training in Kearney. I met a lot of nice people in Kearney and other.
Wait a second, David's nationwide.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm getting to that.
I'm on the other side of the country.
I learned a lot from the coaches there, and when we did the program, like you, David, I learned a lot from you. Not only Ruth, but I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from the other ones taking the course with me. And like I said, as a coach, as a trainer in the sport, you gotta always be open to and flexible to learning new things. You can't be stagnant. As soon as you become stagnant, you're not doing your players any good for years to come. So you gotta constantly be moving. Gotta be learning from other coaches. Got to be accepting that there are other coaches that do a little better than you. Like, for example, you, Ruth, are way better at doing this training and coaching the sport of volleyball than I am.
Only because we've been exposed to it longer. You got to remember that. Not because even with your experience in soccer, it overlaps so much for you to become an excellent teacher. And you've been a teacher in soccer and you're starting that in that. And the thing is this, you're eager because a lot of coaches aren't eager to get better. So having that is a positive for you because, like you said it, the kids recognize it if you don't have energy and if you don't want to be there. They'll know you don't want to do that.
For sure.
Wow.
So no more closely, it's the people that took the course with me. I've been closer with them here in Connection. We've been talking a lot more. So the people that we did it here. I talk to more often now after taking it, as opposed to we would have beforehand. And just any passing, we actually talk and we trade, or not secrets, but we help each other out with practices and say, hey, my players are having difficulty doing this. What do you suggest? Getting that from more, going online because going online and finding drills for players and just is good. But having another coach there to actually watch your player saying, this is what I'm seeing in my player. What do you think? And they'd be like, yeah, I agree. How about have her or him do this instead? Here's the problem. Yeah, I see it. Here's the solution that I'm like, oh, yeah, I would not have thought of that. So just having that extra pair of eyes now through the people that I met.
Okay, when are you Skyping me into your practice?
We'll have to talk to Kat about that. We have one tomorrow and Monday. So maybe the Monday
Yeah,
one, maybe
you
the
need to put me on Zoom and let me watch. And then you get in your ear pods and that. I don't know if you want me in your ear the whole time, but that now that's an experience. Okay, let me get in my last question. What advice would you give someone considering becoming a Go Kids youth sports skills trainer, especially if they're in coaching youth sports right now?
very simple. Do it. 100% do it. It's was 100% worth it. They won't regret it. And just, I mean, yeah, I promise them it'll be the best thing they've ever done. That would be my advice. Do it.
All right. Can't ask for that. All right, David, you got the last few here.
All right, Brandon, as we conclude, could you share two key insights with our viewers? First, why is it so valuable for youth coaches, club directors, recreational administrators, parents, and elementary school teachers to fully engage with the resources available on our 24/7 RNN Sports Gym virtual platform?
Whew, that's a long loaded question. Um, I think it's good. Well, here's my. It goes back to a little bit of my coaching philosophy. Sports for kids is a good way for them to learn about the world and
Okay.
life. So if the more people around them, like coaches, youth directors, and other people around them that are have are around them during the sports,
Hmm?
the more that they know about the sports, the more that they can connect with them and help them through, you know, life. And I believe like sports just relates so much to life. I mean, I've done that with soccer all the time, saying, with players not liking other players. I'm like, listen, it's unfortunate, but that's life. You're gonna be an adult, and you're gonna have to work with people you may not like.
Yeah.
100%. You can't pick and choose. So it's the same thing with sports. You're gonna have to play with people you may not like. So I think that if more people got on and saw with the gym 24/7, because there's another nice thing about it is it's constantly updating about courses that people can take. Um, and when they're available, I think that when people see that and if they actually do start taking some of those courses and actually getting involved in
Mhm.
sports, even if it's not their favorite sport or even if it's just sports in general, especially with the sports or athletic directors, and people, because they're always around it, they're always going to be around it. So if they know a little bit about volleyball, know a little about soccer, and they can connect with the players on a more personal level from knowing sports. So I think that it just helps them in that environment if they
Okay.
take.
Now,
Sure.
David, actually, he answered our second question. He was telling us how he got motivated with this because he really wanted to learn. So would you say you're a 24/7 learner?
Yes, I would definitely say that it's constantly learning, and I mean, it's probably the best thing to be, in my opinion, is constantly learning and being open, not only learning, but being
Ah,
open to that, realizing that your idea and your way of doing this may not always be the best or not be the most efficient way of doing this.
I love
Other
it.
people are
Yeah.
more efficient.
Effective and efficient. You love those words. Okay, so Brandon, thank you for sharing your volleyball journey and your insights today. As we wrap up, could you advise aspiring coaches about finding mentors or role models to help shape their coaching approach and provide the best training and programs for their athletes?
Oh, for sure. Um, yeah, if you obviously when us coaches, we all know that we're not in this for the money. If you're doing it at high school level, if you're doing it at the youth level, if you're volunteering, you're not doing it for the money. So my suggestion would be, yeah, find somebody who can help inspire you or keep your why you're doing this. I have coaches that every time I don't think I want to coach anymore, I have coaches around me reminding me of my why. What's the purpose of me doing this? Which again is doing it for the youth, and inspiring young people to be not only better athletes but better people in general. So it always helps me in my journey to improve myself to find somebody who's I would consider a better coach or better trainer than I am, and then just follow in their footsteps and learn from them. I'm not saying you have to be like
Right.
100% like that mentor or be that person that you're aspiring to be, but it always helps to um, have somebody to look up to and try to be emulate. And then in my opinion, by doing that, by trying to emulate somebody else, you inspire other people to want to be more like you.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some advice. One is it's not a question of people that are better than you. Those people might have more experience than you, but don't underestimate your ability your ability to be around kids, your ability to be able to teach, your love and your passion. So always remember, it's all about that someone might have different or maybe a few more years of experience, but you have something to also give. So I want to thank you to our co-host David first. And if you know someone teaching kids ages 10 and under, send them our way to the 24/7 gym virtual gym at www.rnnsportsgym.com. They can explore the wide range of educational videos, and by becoming members, gain access to our exclusive RNN Sports Gym private Facebook group. Now, remember to like it, share our public pages on Facebook, Instagram, and X with friends, teachers, kids, and youth coaches. Our innovative approach to teaching kids and 10 and under is something you won't want to miss. Don't miss our monthly chat box on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, available pre-recorded on our private RNN Sports Gym Facebook group. We look forward to seeing you on May 14th for our next In the Know series with another surprise guest. And Brandon, we thank you so much for being part of tonight, and you were excellent.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, Ruth. I appreciate it. And David, always good to see you.
Absolutely. Likewise. Thanks for coming on. It was great.